Hello everyone and welcome to Fifth North. I'm Demir and today I'm doing something a little bit different. Normally on this channel I wouldn't review a part or a piece of gear or a piece of equipment that isn't related to either photography or motorcycles, but today I'm going to make the exception. Alright, so let me explain. First of all, before I dive in, I feel like a complete and utter news anchor sitting at this desk right now. I'm trying something new out with when I'm doing like product videos to have a place to put everything, so bear with me as I kind of mess around and try different different angles and whatnot. But anyway, so a couple of videos ago I talked about the Peak Design motorcycle mount for your phone, right? There's the bar mount and there's the stem mount, and in that video I stated that it is hands down the best motorcycle phone mounting solution on the market today. Now, I stand by that comment. I still believe that, I still think that, and I still do highly recommend it. So with that being said, I thought about the case, right? Let me grab my phone real quick. So I thought about the everyday case that they make for the phone, Peak Design that is, and there's this Slim Link system. And with how much I liked it for my motorcycle, I thought, if I could use this in other aspects of everyday use off the bike, that would be pretty cool. Well, and then Peak Design was like, dude, Demir, yeah, that's literally what we do. We have a system in place, the Slim Link system, which does other things. So, for example, we've got, car chargers, we've got, desk, office, nightstand chargers, a lot of different options for you to utilize. And so, obviously, I was very interested. So right off the bat, I said, hey, talk to me about what you got, and I want to see how else I can utilize this great system. And so one of the first things that we talked about was how to charge your phone in the car, and that's where the vent clip came into play. Now, there's two different options on the vent clip. You've got one that is just going to hold your phone, and then you've got one that'll wirelessly charge your phone as well. So I had Peak Design send out a wireless charging version for me to test out. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Now, additionally, I also learned that Peak Design makes a wireless charger. This is a stand version, and this will work on, your office desk, your nightstand, pretty much wherever you want to place it. And so I really wanted to test that out as well. Now, outside of the two charging items, right, the vent mount charger and the standalone wireless charger, there's an entire ecosystem of products that works with this case. So if you end up trying it out and you like it, just know there's a lot of different options for you to play with, where you can expand that usability of the Slim Link system. Now, for me, that car mount version was going to be one of the most important things. I do spend a lot of time on the road, and then obviously the desk version as well. So let's go ahead and jump over to the wireless car mount. I want to show you guys what that looks like, how it is to install, and how the whole thing comes together. All right, so I removed the arm part just to make it easier for you guys to see, but you don't have to do that to actually install it. You guys can see right here, I unscrewed the top part and removed it. Again, this is just for you guys to see. You don't have to do this when installing the actual vent mount. So you go ahead and take this part. This little part here spins, that'll loosen the hook, and that'll push the hook in and out. If you see the little red part come out, you push the hook out too far, so don't push it that far out. Push it out just before that part, and then this part here will go up and down to make install easier. So go ahead and push the hook in onto the vent part that you want to clip it to. So just go ahead and push it in through right here. Make sure it snaps into place. And then go ahead and tighten the little round part to make sure it's secure. And you guys can see now I've got the round part tightened. That's got the hook tight and secure. I've got the bottom part clipped in, and it's pretty much good to go right here. So I'm just gonna double check that it's tight. And yeah, pretty much that's not going anywhere. That's nice and secure. All right, so next part is I'll put the arm back on. Again, you didn't have to remove this. Go ahead and screw this part on here. And as I screw it back on, I'm still gonna keep it pretty loose. That way the arm can freely move until I find the exact angle or the exact position that I want my phone in. So again, I'm going to go ahead and tighten it a little bit, keep it loose, and see how it's still moving around. And now I kind of get to play around and pick exactly where, I want my phone to be. All right, so let me go ahead and grab my phone, go ahead and magnetize it there. It's nice and stuck. And now I get to adjust it, find exactly where I want it. I think that looks good. Maybe right, go a little bit lower. Let's go right here. All right, and so once I've got it kind of how I want it, I'll go through and tighten that knob right there. Make sure it's nice and tight, that way everything's secure. Once you tighten it down, that's not going anywhere, but you still do have the swivel here with a 360 swivel on the back. And it does come with a cable, so that's kind of cool. Go ahead and take the USB-C cable, unwrap it, get it nice and connected. And these are really awesome too. It comes with little guides where you can basically tape them to your surface and guide your cable around. That way your cable is not just hanging there. I do love that Peak Design includes that. I'll go ahead and plug in the cable here, and then I'll route it around my car. And again, I kind of rotate it here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rotate it so the cable comes down, adjust it exactly how I want it. And then again, I'll use these little guides here to run my cable. That way it's not just hanging down. So I'll tape it here, press it down firmly, snap the cable in, and now my cable is nice, tucked and out of the way. Makes install much cleaner and easier. All right, and I placed my phone on here, and just like that, you guys can see my phone is charging. It is in place. It is held securely. It's good to go. Okay, so now that you guys have seen how the wireless charging vent mount works and installs, I do want to give my opinion on it. So for me personally, there's a couple of things that are really key. So I mentioned during the install that hook that is there to keep the phone secure, or to keep the mount secure, really. A lot of times when I've used vent mounts in the past, they just had the one piece that kind of slides onto the vent. And what happens is, if you have a heavier phone, for example, I've got a 12 Pro Max, or really any Pro Max version phone, it's going to be too heavy, and eventually that vent's going to slide off, right? Or that clip's going to slide off the vent. The other thing that happens is your phone will start to kind of sag or vibrate or fall off completely. And so for me, really important that Peak Design added that hook piece, and the fact that most of the components, right? If you look at the components, the hook piece, everything is metal, so it's a lot stronger, right? So that's the key part right there for me, is I know that once I've clipped it into place, as I've shown you guys how to install it, it's not going anywhere. Now, more importantly, the vent mount's not going anywhere, but neither is the phone. So the phone has the Slim Link on it. That metal plate and that wireless charger, they go together via magnet, obviously, and it's very strong and very sturdy. I've actually tested this for about 3,000 miles now. Now, if you've ever been to Dallas, Texas, you know the roads are not the prettiest. There's pretty much construction everywhere. I'm talking about construction every single road you're on, it feels like. You have construction on top of construction. It's ridiculous, right? There's a lot of bumps, a lot of potholes, a lot of stuff going on, and I've never once had my phone fall off the mount, fall off the wireless charger, that is. So I really do appreciate the fact that it's really on there solid, and you know your phone's going to be okay. Now, the other part that I really like is when you do have a heavier phone, like I said, my 12 Pro Max, is a lot of times when you have it mounted, you kind of hit a bump and your phone kind of starts to tilt, or just over time it'll slowly lose that angle. I don't like that when a mount does that. This particular mount from Peak Design, I've actually not had that happen at all. The mount is very stiff, and so when you put the phone on there, whatever angle you put it at, it's going to stay at that angle. Now, I've seen other mounts that do this too, but here's where they come in short. It's so stiff to keep the phone from moving that if you want to move the phone, you can't, because it's basically rigid and locked in place. That's where this mount is so cool. I think Peak Design did a really good job of finding that balance where the phone won't move, but if I just place my hand on it and start to tilt it, it'll go in any direction that I want. And so if I want the phone to kind of turn towards me because of, say, sun glare or whatever the case might be, I can adjust it really easily without the phone coming off. And then when I adjust it, it'll stay there without me having to do any sort of latches or tightening or anything like that. It's just good to go with a simple hand gesture. So a really good balance on holding the phone safe, holding the phone steady, but still giving me that adjustability as I use it. And again, the wireless charging bit, again, remember there's the mount by itself, then there's the charging version. But the charging bit is really nice as well because it does charge wirelessly. So I know my phone's always good to go, especially for me where I GPS a lot when I drive. So having my phone always charged, definitely a big bonus. Now, with that being said, as much as I love the wireless car charger vent mount, let's talk about the standalone wireless charger for everywhere else. So let's go ahead and unbox it, and I'll show you guys what this looks like. All right, so I think that Peak Design absolutely killed it here. First and foremost, this charger is all metal. You guys can hear it. It's a solid piece of metal, really strong, really tough. And okay, so we talked about the wireless vent mount, right? And I said how it's stiff enough to not move, but not too rigid to where I can adjust it. Same concept right here in this hinge. Peak Design really found the perfect balance, right? So right now this thing is set and it's not gonna teeter or move, but then if I wanna adjust it, it'll adjust, right? And again, it's gonna keep it right where I left it. It's not gonna fall down or kind of collapse under the phone weight. And again, I'm using a bigger phone and it's not a problem at all. The other thing I like about it is just how slim it is. And if you fold it down, I mean, it's really, really tiny. And it's kind of got a really minimal design to it, which I do appreciate, because a lot of other wireless chargers, they've got like LED lights and they're like big and padded and all this stuff going on. And this is just very simple. I mean, even the wireless charging part is super tiny, so I appreciate that as well. Now, it is magnetic, so I love that part because it lets me mount my phone with that case that I have, the everyday case. But what's cool about being magnetic is you can mount it either way and it's gonna work just fine. So I'll give you guys an example. So if I take my phone and I mount it, this is my typical charging, angle. If I put it on my nightstand, I put it, next to my bed, on my office desk, whatever the case might be, it'll sit there and it'll charge. But what I like about it is because it's magnetic, I can turn it sideways too. So if I wanna go landscape, if I wanna go portrait, it's just a simple turn. There's no, adapters, adjustments. You just plop it on there and you're good to go. Really cool design. And then what I like about it too is it's not heavy, but it's heavy enough. It's a one-handed operation. So if I grab it, you see how it doesn't like lift the whole thing up? I can just grab it. It'll move a little bit, but it's sturdy enough to where it's not gonna come off. I've had other magnetic ones where you kind of have to grab and hold and pull, right? Not the case here. You just kind of lift it and it'll come right off. But then you still have that strong magnetic feel to know that your phone is secure. So again, I absolutely think Peak Design killed it here. Very minimal design, looks beautiful, very strong, tough materials. And in the marketing, they say that this charger will outlast many phones. And I have to agree because, the materials, again, it's just pure metal basically. So it's gonna last a long time. And as long as the technology stays the same from a wireless charging standpoint, I don't see why I couldn't use it for multiple phones. All right, so with that said, both the wireless charging vent mount and the wireless charging stand, they both work flawlessly. Again, big shout out to Peak Design for sending me the car mount, and then obviously I picked this one up. And I'll tell you guys this, I actually like this wireless charger so much that I bought one, and then I bought a second one right away. So that's really how good it is. That kind of gives you the my thoughts on it is the fact that I bought two, one for my office, one for my bedroom. Tells you how much I enjoy, how well it works. But again, that's kind of my point. It's very simple. Everything about it is so minimal, but just functional, right? Nothing's difficult. Everything just works as it should. And that's kind of my preference when it comes to tech, when it comes to pretty much everything, is just keep it as simple as possible and have it be functional. I want you guys to know this. So when I review products on this channel, and this is the case for all the photo gear, all the moto gear, and even items like this that are not photo or moto, I don't really review just anything. There's a lot of companies that reach out to me that say, hey, I want to work with you. I want you to review this product. And the truth is, there's a lot of companies that I turn down because their products are not quality enough. And I tell companies that work with me, do it at your own risk, right? If I don't like your product, if I don't think your product is good, if there's a problem with your product, I'm going to call it out. I want to make sure that you, my audience, trusts my opinion because I'm willing to say the truth. Like, hey, this product is not good, or this part could be better, or this product would be great if this one part was fixed, or whatever the case might be. So I definitely tell the brands, hey, do it at your own risk. And so I want you guys to have that trust factor. And so with Peak Design, same conversation that I've had with everybody else, and the truth is their products just work, and I'm very happy with them. So again, I mentioned earlier, the best hands down phone mount for your motorcycle, whether handlebar or stem, and in this case, in my opinion, the best desk wireless charger and the best vent mount for your car. So if you haven't already checked them out, feel free to do so. I do have links down below. Keep in mind they are affiliate links, so if you do click on them, it does help the channel out, so I do appreciate that. Now with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you think this video was helpful, if it answered some questions on the wireless charger or on the vent charger, or if you think they're awesome, just go ahead and hit the like button for me. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well, as it does help out the channel quite a bit. And obviously got going a little too fast there. And obviously it'll tell you when the next video is going to be out. That way you're not missing out. So got a lot of cool stuff coming up, as I mentioned before. A lot of bike reviews coming up, a lot of motorcycle gear, some photo stuff coming up soon too, and occasionally some cool products that I want to share with you guys. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.